And yes, this is Read It or Skip It. Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we are plunging right into the pretty intense world of Now You're Mine by Morgan Bridges. We're looking specifically at a really fascinating review of the second book in that duet. It's a deep dive into how one reviewer, pulls apart a pretty unique story and what makes certain things really pop.
Right. And our mission here, for you, the learner, is really to unpack what makes this particular stalker romance so compelling for this reviewer. We'll look at the characters, the author's choices, definitely, and why it got such high marks, even with those, let's say, controversial themes. It's all about seeing how a review can spotlight a powerful principle in storytelling, even in tricky territory.
Okay, let's jump in. What really struck me first was how the review immediately sets the stage. It says, Now You're Mine was every bit as great as the first book, if not better, and crucially, definitely spicier. That's quite the claim for book 2, isn't it?
It really is. And what's fascinating, I think, is how consistent that central dynamic stays. You've got Hayden, the stalker character. He's just as obsessed, just as irrational about Callista as ever, even after the big secret's out.
Right, even after she knows.
Exactly. And Callista, well, she's navigating all these secrets, these lies, but she's still drawn to him. You feel her conflict through the whole book.
Yeah.
And that steady consistency, that's what really builds the tension,
Yeah, and the review really leans into how that tension plays out. It describes the struggle and power exchange, calls it electric, and Hayden's control. It's described as, well, extreme.
Extreme is putting it mildly, maybe.
Yeah, like from what she wore to what she ate, the review says even her bedtime.
Her bedtime, wow.
But the reviewer argues this push and pull gets to erotic heights.
Which brings up a really big question for us, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
How does attraction work in dynamics like that? These are really unconventional power situations. Because the reviewer makes this incredibly strong statement, almost shocking.
What was it again?
Let's see, Hayden. This man may be a sociopath, but the way he loved up on Callista, every woman should be so lucky as to be on the receiving end of his bedside manner of crazy.
Wow. Okay, that's an intense take. And definitely controversial. It really makes you stop and think, how does the reviewer square that circle, that crazy element with being lucky? What's the appeal there? Beyond maybe just the shock.
Well, I think it speaks to the sheer, unfiltered intensity the author commits to. You think about it from a storytelling perspective, right? This kind of extreme portrayal, when it's done consistently, can create this powerful, maybe unconventional, but powerful form of devotion. And for some readers, that's just incredibly magnetic. It's less about saying the behavior is okay and more about understanding the narrative impact of sticking absolutely true to a character's core, however flawed.
That actually leads perfectly into what seemed to impress the reviewer the most. This part's really interesting. They absolutely loved how Hayden never broke character.
Yes, that's crucial.
They specifically praise Bridges for not doing the easy thing, the bad guy turned good kind of trope. Hayden stays the possessive control freak that he has been from the start. That's a bold move from Bridges, isn't it? To just defy that expectation.
Oh, absolutely. A very bold choice. And it's pivotal for this review.
Yeah.
Because that unwavering consistency, it lends credibility, the reviewer argues, to Callista's love for him. It lets her love him with all of his flaws and faults, as they put it.
Right, because he is who he is.
Exactly. And Hayden's own belief that he and Callista are just inevitable, that gets reinforced too, because he never wavers. The reviewer found this character consistency brilliantly written, and basically said that was a key reason for the 5 stars. It makes the whole story, even with its wild premise, feel somehow earned.
So that commitment to character, it really sealed the deal. It led to a very satisfying HEA, happily ever after. Plus a bonus epilogue, apparently.
Can't beat a bonus epilogue.
Right. The reviewer just tore through the whole duet in literally 2 days and finished by calling Morgan Bridges one of the new authors to watch. So it really shows us, doesn't it, how these very specific choices an author makes, like sticking to a character's core, can elevate a genre, even with morally tricky stuff.
Yeah, this deep dive really shows how one element, executed really well, can just define the whole reading experience for someone. And it leaves us with a pretty interesting question to think about, doesn't it? When does a character staying true to themselves, even a controversial self, actually become a strength in the story? And maybe what does happily ever after even mean when the dynamics are that complex, that unyielding? Something to chew on.
Definitely something to think about. And yes, this is Read It or Skip It.